Welcome to Teed Up Sports Podcast, your new go-to pod for sports, entertainment, culture, and humor. Today we break down the NBA Finals, last game between the Warriors and the Raptors, the Lakers and Pelicans trade, NBA rumors, and our best bets for the game. I'm Jarny, and I'm teed up.
So the Raptors are your NBA champions, as much as it pains
sir.
me to say that.
Let's clap it up.
Clap it up.
Yes, congratulations.
Hey.
Kawhi was your finals MVP. Fred VanVleet got a finals MVP vote, which is ironic enough that we live in a world where that exists. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys got to say about the Raptors, and more specifically, you guys want to talk about that Game 6 and the situation behind it? Klay gets hurt in like mid-third quarter. Tore his ACL, which we ended up finding out. He got kind of blocked by Danny Green. It was a foul. Tears his ACL, goes in the locker room, comes back out, nails 2 free throws, completely like Jordan-esque performance. Klay was absolutely on fire. Game 6 Klay the whole time. But what were your guys' thoughts on the game, aside from the injuries and the ending there with Curry having a chance to take the lead, misses the 3?
I mean, I knew Curry wasn't going to hit that shot. As crazy as it sounds. What?
I don't know.
So you guys thought Curry was going to hit that shot?
I didn't think he was going to shoot it, but when he did, I was like, oh, shit.
I mean, I knew he was going to miss it. Raptors played good. I mean, Warriors, they had a lot of injuries throughout the series, so there's definitely like a big asterisk next to this championship.
You said a big what?
Asterisk.
It's a big asterisk.
Asterisk. Same shit, bro. Same shit. Yeah. Warriors should have won this, but fuck the Warriors. They ain't get the three-peat. Raptors, Kings, baby.
Let's just do a side note that Game 5 almost had an ending of Malik and Brock fighting. Let's all not forget that.
Because Max is a fake.
Nah,
Max is a fake sports fan, I should say.
They almost fought, and Brock asked for a hug, and Malik said, and I quote, "I will see you when I see you." Let's not forget that part.
No, but I don't think there's an asterisk next to this Raptors championship. Like, look, the Warriors have won a title because of injuries before.
There's an asterisk next to that too.
But what goes around comes around. It's really sad that we see like 2 devastating injuries to 2 massive players such as KD and Klay. It's not like this happened to someone of less importance or something like that. Not that it matters. You don't want to see anybody get injured, but now we're not going to see Klay for all of next year. Now we're not going to see KD for all of next year, and this really changes the whole landscape of the NBA. And we're going to get into this soon with Anthony Davis becoming a Los Angeles Laker. This really just opens up the NBA. But honestly, congratulations to the Raptors. They played really well. Gritty performance. Everyone stepped up. It wasn't just one guy. It wasn't like a one-man show. You could talk about the injuries as like kind of an excuse for the Warriors, but I know Warriors fans don't really play that, so I'm not going to really put that on them either. It's disappointing, to see an ending like that, but the game was still close. I really wish there was a Game 7 that we could have talked about just because I didn't want this series to end like that, but it is what it is. The Raptors are your champions. Kawhi's your finals MVP. He deserves that.
Raptors in 6 in the 6. That's why I ended in 6.
On the 6th month. That's
on the 6th month.
Yeah,
fuck a Game 7.
But I don't know, Klay, it was sad that Klay went down because he was the one I was really going sick in that game.
Yeah, he was having a historic performance.
Yeah, Curry was pretty much slacking that whole game. Klay was in there going AWOL, and then he went down. So that's sad. Fred VanVleet, he was bugging, had his little 22 points.
He had I think 12 in the fourth quarter, which is insanity, but it's the world we live in. But here's actually a fun fact about the finals. Klay actually had the 4th most finals threes made in the finals, and he didn't even play like 2 games. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Which is insanity to think about. He played what 4 games, like 3.5-ish games, and he still was 4th all time in NBA record finals threes made in the finals, which is like that's just insanity. But yeah, congratulations to the Raptors. They're partying right now. There's a lot of videos on Instagram and Twitter of Kawhi having a good time, which is really rare to see. Ibaka obviously getting lit. Drake, that whole shebang.
Drake is acting like he...
Drake's acting like he dropped 20 and 10.
Yeah, like he pulled out. What happened?
No.
Nah, Jarny can't sip the Henny.
Yeah. So 2 podcasts ago, we were sponsored by Douce. Today, we're sponsored by Henny.
Yeah.
You know, we
He
need that.
said
Very
Jarny gotta get a
special.
cup.
If you want to, give us that sponsorship, be sure to message us, TU Sports Pod. We'll be glad to give you guys a little 30-second advertisement on the show if you supply us a couple bottles.
We'll do it for free, Henny.
We'll do it because we love you. Nah, but let's get into the AD trade. Well, not even a trade rumor anymore. Anthony Davis is now officially a Los Angeles Laker.
Jarny, clap it up. Jarny, clap it up.
Jarny,
That's your team.
That's your team. And Anthony Davis is now officially a Los Angeles Laker.
Yes, sir.
Jarny, I know you're very
Let's
excited
go.
about that. So the trade that went down was the Lakers sent Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and 3 future first-round picks, which includes this year's pick, so technically like the 4th overall pick, for Anthony Davis, which is like, I think, like a year of him, right? Or is it 2 years?
It's a year of him, but they're saying that once the year is over, he's going to re-sign.
And that makes perfect sense. But what are your guys' like initial reactions? Do you guys think the Pelicans won the trade or the Lakers won the trade? And does this put the Lakers as a championship team instantly?
At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was like once I got the notification, I was for a second a little upset because they gave away Lonzo Ball. Everyone knows I roll with Lonzo
Jarny
Ball.
treats Lonzo like he's like.
So basically, that was the only part that like caught me. But other than that, I do see it being a good trade. Like Ingram, we didn't know if he was gonna come back or not with all the blood clots. Hart, I never liked Josh Hart. So honestly,
I like Josh Hart a lot. Actually, he's
Yeah.
probably like one of my favorite of the Laker players.
no.
No.
I mean, he's a good throw-in, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he'd definitely be a good role player.
Yeah, no, of course.
3-and-D guy.
So I personally like AD becoming a Laker. So I mean, he's in his prime. He's one of the best. He's going to be with the best LeBron James. So it's gonna be a great.
Say best of all time.
I was going to,
Yeah,
but I
like-
stopped myself. It's gonna be something good just to see like how they do it. I don't see them winning a ring next year just because I feel like they got to get used to it. Because I feel like right now they're just. It's basically like
That's what the 82 games
It's basically like
are.
you're just gonna build a store. You're gonna tear it all down. You're gonna rebuild it, and then you're gonna be open for business. So right now they're just gonna build it all up, and once it's built, the Lakers are just going to look shiny and new. So by year 2, Lakers will win a championship ring.
Hot
Hear
take:
that?
AD
Hear
gets
that?
hurt.
Yeah, I think
AD gets
So,
hurt this
in
year
the-
or
in-
next year.
I'm not feeling AD's injury promise.
After AD re-signs with the Lakers, which is in 2 years, that'll be LeBron's 3rd year on his contract. The Lakers will win a championship ring. You heard it here first.
I think they
They're
could potentially
due
get
this
one
year.
this season.
Yeah, they
I,
could.
I
Yeah,
don't see
there's
it
no
being this
chance.
year.
Not only that, I think this trade was
Can't
pretty
see it being
even
this
too.
I don't know.
Well, Golden State is down, and Golden State, like, it's
Down,
really
down.
just Curry,
Yeah,
Iguodala,
Draymond.
Draymond. Like, KD is obviously not playing for the whole year. Clay's not
The
playing.
competition is the Nuggets and Rockets.
Yeah.
Lakers.
And
I'm saying, like, that's like
Oh,
Lakers
the
competition.
Yeah.
So really, like, right now it's just the Lakers versus the West, and then the East is obviously still going to be pretty good. I'd say the Bucks, Sixers are still valid. If Kawhi returns to the Raptors, they're obviously going to be the defending NBA champions. They're going to come out strong next year, I'd have to assume. And then you also got, the potential of the Nets being a threat with Kyrie. We're not really like 100% sure of like they're looking like they're going to get Kyrie, but who else they add, I don't know. But I mean, there's definitely good teams on the East, but the West, the West is the Wild West for real.
Yeah,
like it's pretty wide open, but I think this makes the Lakers the favorite to win the West. I don't know if it's a favorite to win the NBA title. I'd still put like the Bucks over them if I really had to say so, or even like the Sixers almost. But the Lakers are definitely really good, and with all the problems the Rockets are having, this is their chance to shine. And LeBron, this might be his last real chance at like winning another MVP, really going for another ring for real.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the trade was definitely pretty much almost fair on both sides because the Lakers got what they wanted. They got Anthony Davis, and they needed that. Like, they needed someone to pair with LeBron right now. They don't got time to wait for the young players to get better. Lonzo Ball, Ingram, we don't got time for none of that. Pelicans, on the other hand, they're about to go ahead and draft Zion. With Lonzo Ball, Zion, Drew Holiday, Brandon Ingram, that's like a great combo. I feel like that. The only problem with that I see is the shooting. That's a little scary. I don't know how they're going to get those threes off. But defensively,
They'll figure it out.
that's definitely. There'll probably be a lot of middies getting to the paint, but
They'll be a very
defensively,
good defensive team.
yeah,
for
they're
sure.
very good. Lonzo Ball and Holiday in the backcourt. That's crazy. So, I like the trade for both sides. I think both sides did what they had to do to make that trade. The Lakers get to keep Kuzma, and the Pelicans brought in a lot of picks. They got Lonzo. Lonzo's due for a good season next season.
Lonzo
too,
is
so,
due for a good season.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely think the Pelicans like won the trade because it's only 1 year of AD, and the Pelicans basically secured like the next 5 years of at least maybe not next year playoff contention, but they have a lot of guys with high upside. Like I'm kind of a Brandon Ingram.
Too.
Yeah, I'm kind of a Brandon Ingram hater.
Yeah, screw him,
You know, like I never really thought at first, obviously, when he was coming out of Duke, I thought he was going to be really good, but he just kind of hasn't really panned out. You know, his game is a little bit like Michael Beasley, if I had to say. And I don't know if it just doesn't seem like it was working in LA.
It's actually a perfect comparison.
No, he really is. He really is like Michael Beasley.
Sheesh.
And, you know, now he's got a good opportunity to make something happen in New Orleans. But I just like this team. You know, they're kind of young. I think Zion is really going to bring them some energy that they're definitely going to need. And then you have a really good, like, point guard / shooting guard in Drew Holiday, who's going to kind of bring, like, that veteran presence to the team, which they need so badly, you know? Julius Randle said he doesn't want to play for New Orleans. That's like kind of a good piece that I wish they probably could have kept, or they should at least try to convince him to keep, because he's kind of really been like not breaking out as an NBA star, but like he's really becoming a good player, you know, and his stats are always been efficient. So we don't know where he's going to end up, but had they kept Julius Randle, would have definitely been interesting. But
he was not trying to play with them.
Yeah,
he had enough of them. He was like, I got out of here for a reason.
Wait, he said that? No,
but it's just like right after that happened, he was like, yeah, I'm out of here.
Oh, yeah, he declined the option. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
But the Lakers have some money to play with. I think they have like about 25 to 30 million, like roughly. I'm not sure of the exact number.
Kemba.
But they can't really get a max contract. But if some guy takes a pay cut, they could get another guy. Me personally, I think they should get just a couple role players. You know, maybe like Trevor Ariza or Jeff Green or JJ Redick, someone like that, because LeBron and AD, that's enough star power.
I say we
JJ Redick would be crazy.
I say we get like a star point guard. Like I would enjoy it.
Doesn't know anything.
All right, so you got.
They gotta get Kemba.
I would personally like to see Jimmy Butler come and play for us. Like everyone's saying, Kemba.
I'd rather see Jimmy stay with the Sixers.
They got four.
He would be
number
nice
one
on my
options
team,
right now
though.
going for that. For like free agency, it's
everyone.
Kawhi's out. They're not gonna get
They
Kawhi.
can't get Kawhi.
So out of Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving, and Jimmy Butler, who do you guys think is like the best fit for the Lakers to go ahead and grab? Because they're not even really looking for those role players. That would be a good idea, but they're not looking for them. So out of those
they could though. Like why couldn't they?
Because they're gonna go after Kemba, Kyrie, or Butler. Definitely, they're going after them.
Yeah.
You know, they already said they're going after Kawhi, but they won't be able to get him. So
they could honestly get like a guy like JaVale McGee or something like that.
They're just gonna bring him back.
Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna get Rondo again, but they could bring back Rondo for a cheap deal, which I would like a lot. I think Rondo would work very well with that team because he has experience with AD, and then obviously he played with LeBron last year. So I mean, me personally, like I said, I think they should just get a couple role players. You know what I mean? Like maybe Chris Middleton would be a really good fit on that team if they could somehow convince him to go. I don't know if he'd leave Milwaukee, but it's definitely a possibility. But I don't want, like, if I was a Lakers fan at least, I wouldn't want Kemba. Just because he's a ball-dominant point guard. He's never really had playoff experience. He's just going to take the ball away from AD and LeBron, which is the opposite of what you want. And, yeah, he could score, but why not get, like, a three-point shooter, like a certified scorer? And you already have Kuzma.
He's
you know
a very
what I mean?
good three-point shooter, though.
Yeah.
He is, but, like, you could get a tall and a good defender and, like, a guy like Chris Middleton or, like, even a guy like JJ Redick. He's not a good defender at all, but I'm just saying, like, you know, it's an option. And then in terms of Jimmy Butler is a ball-dominant guy, you know what I mean? He doesn't really shoot either. Like, he'd fit there definitely on the defensive end, but I wouldn't want to overpay Jimmy Butler just for his defense. You know,
I think Jimmy Butler's a good fit for them. I don't know.
He is a good fit for them.
I think Kyrie's the best fit for LeBron, though. That's what I think.
He's the perfect fit. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
I know.
No, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
I like 25% chance on that. If he doesn't sign with the Lakers, he goes to the Nets. But
he'd have to take a pay cut to go to the Lakers. And on top of that, on top of the already short pay that he'd have to take for going to LA has one of the highest taxes, you know what I mean? So he'd be losing out on a ton of money. And he's also,
it's Kyrie Irving. You don't think they're going to turn Kyrie into a superstar more than he already is if he's based in LA?
He's talking about
he want that money, though. He don't care about...
he could go to Brooklyn and be the face of New York.
Yeah, he's going to
You're right
because
about
he wants
that,
to,
but it's
run
like
that team.
But it's like you're based
Nobody wants to be the third fiddle
based in
LA. No,
yeah.
Obviously I'm not an NBA player, but I'm just saying, like, nobody wants
he was
to be
already
the
the second fiddle to LeBron.
Yeah.
Now he's the
And
third.
like
LeBron, AD, now him. That's just, he would not want that. Yeah, he probably
You're just
would.
a Laker. You're just a hopeful Laker.
Butler likes to... I think Butler stays with Philly, but if not,
Butler's
Lakers is
take
lit.
the money.
Like, you know?
If I'm the Lakers, like, you gotta get these role players. You know, that's the best decision by far.
Seth Curry's a free agent?
Seth Curry is a free agent. They get
Seth Curry,
Curry.
Seth Curry and JJ Redick could be lit.
That would be
That'd be
lit.
lit.
That'd
Yeah.
be crazy.
And then, you know, then there's the potential of guys that are ring chasing, and you know that want to sign on a
Maybe
cheap
Jeff
deal,
Green.
like a guy like Jeff Green or something like that, and you know, they
DeMarcus
obviously got-
Cousins.
I forgot, bro.
Cousins could go on a cheap deal.
Yeah, he thought
Like,
that
would
ring
make-
was coming easy.
That would definitely make a lot of sense. I definitely see Cousins doing that too because he's already in too deep. He's got to do anything.
Yeah.
Jarny, tell us about LeVar Ball though, since you're like the Ball brothers, you know, #1 fan. What was happening with LeVar Ball? How did he feel about this whole scenario?
All right, BBB back in action. So when the reports came that Lonzo Ball was getting traded, LeVar Ball was actually at the Drew League game watching the youngest Ball brother. So basically, once the reports came, LeVar Ball basically said that the Lakers will probably never win a championship, and they just got rid of one of their key players. And we're talking about Lonzo Ball, a player that averaged 49% shooting, averaged, I think, 32 at the three-point line. And I personally, like, I don't know if LeVar Ball ever fucking hears what he says, but I mean,
definitely doesn't.
the way he says it, I'm just ready to run through a fucking brick wall. So personally, I do agree with some of his claims. He said that Lonzo Ball is the best thing to ever happen to the Lakers. I don't know if I agree with that. Claims the Lakers are crashing down. I do see that being the case with the whole Genie Bus, Magic Johnson, and Rob Pelinka story. He does claim that he doesn't like the Lakers because the Lakers did not believe in Lonzo Ball at first, which is true. Which is true because, I mean, they tried to trade him early on. But LeVar Ball was making some good points about how Lonzo Ball is the missing piece of the Pelicans. He's going to be surrounded with Ingram, Randall, Zion.
Not Randall anymore, but yeah.
Randall, if he stays, and he just says like how Lonzo Ball will be a great leader. Personally, I like agree with this because since Lonzo Ball entered the league, that's all everyone's been hearing is Lonzo Ball is a leader. Lonzo Ball is a leader. Everyone plays well with Lonzo Ball. Everyone does
his
well
dad
with
tried
Lonzo
to
Ball.
like
But
brainwash that into everyone's head.
If you look at the stats, there was a stat. It was Lakers without LeBron, Lakers without Lonzo, Lakers with LeBron, Lakers with Lonzo, then Lakers with LeBron and with Lonzo. And
it's more of just LeBron.
No.
It's Lakers with LeBron and without LeBron. Lonzo was just there because, Lonzo was hurt too.
But there were some differences because it's just like Lonzo Ball is a pretty good point guard.
They did play pretty good together.
Like, even though his shooting doesn't show it, Lonzo Ball shares the ball well. Lonzo Ball is his IQ when it comes to I'm gonna fling it.
There's a lot of movement going on behind.
Side eyes.
Nah, I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, but Lonzo Ball overall is a great player, and LeVar Ball was making some correct statements by what he was saying.
Yeah,
and
Lonzo's got to be sick of his dad always like speaking for him though, because
he's probably used to it.
I don't know. I feel like
Lonzo's
Lonzo's
like, yo, Dad, shut the
fuck
fuck up, bro. Like, you're talking like I'm a grown
his
man.
dad got him to where he is. If you think about it, I mean, his dad got him.
I'm telling you this right now. I don't think Lonzo would have been the second pick if it wasn't for his dad.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
No, he would have.
When
he was on UCLA, he ran college basketball.
He did.
He literally
He
was the story every
his
season.
dad made him
was
so much.
Yeah.
Well, just like. Bro, it was.
There's some people that know Lonzo Ball because of his
my
dad.
son, they're stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like publicity. But like, you're not getting drafted just because of publicity. You're gonna get drafted because of your skills.
It was
you
just
have to go and work out.
Either way,
You could argue that De'Aaron Fox was better than him, at the time.
No, he
it
wasn't.
was still the perfect story.
He wasn't. Like, I know for a fact he wasn't. Kentucky was a better team than UCLA, but De'Aaron Fox wasn't even like that. He wasn't projected to be like that.
He had the Lakers like, yeah, this guy's gonna be great. He's gonna be running Showtime. Showtime's back. He's putting a lot of pressure on Lonzo too.
Was supposed to be one of the #1 picks too.
And still, he didn't. Lonzo didn't perform. A lot of pressure on him.
He's also very good. Like the whole Lakers situation. Like they had a horrible situation. You know what I mean? They had to go from Kobe's retirement. They kind of had to deal with the D'Lo situation, him snitching.
Sneaker.
And, and at the end of the day, they still end up with LeBron and Anthony Davis, which is crazy because they didn't do anything right. So, like, at least in my book, like, I don't know how the Lakers got so lucky, but I guess that's just the big
the
market.
LA.
That's how
Lakers
the big market
back on
works.
top, baby. They thought it was a drought.
Hold on.
They thought, oh, Lakers.
Let's let AD play a full
Lakers-
season
Penny
first.
just hit.
Lakers don't have Kobe. Lakers aren't going to be on top in a while. Lakers back on top, nigga.
Let's let AD
Come
play
on.
first.
Lakers are back, baby. Let's
Let's-
just say it. We got LeBron James. We got AD.
AD's definitely getting injured now.
Mike
AD's
Butler.
definitely getting injured
Bro,
now.
look
Jarny,
at
you
our
going to a Lakers game?
3 players to choose from. Kemba, Kyrie, or Butler, bro. Lakers are back. Come on.
They're not
Jarny,
gonna
you
get
going
any
to a
of them.
Lakers game this season?
If my schedule provides it, I will love to catch a Lakers game in
It's gonna
New
be
York.
like $200 tickets.
You going in
In
LA
New
though?
York.
in
No,
New York? It's gonna be
in
$600
New York.
tickets. What are you talking about?
New York. I'm not gonna go to LA. What do you mean? I'm broke. I'm broke. What do you mean?
In New York.
I gotta pay for the plane ticket and then the show ticket. Nah,
That's
don't
so
worry
much
like
cheaper
that.
than the
is-
Garden
yeah.
ticket.
I seen a Lakers game in LA last season. It was cool. That showed me how like LeBron.
It was cool.
It was cool. They played the Wizards.
bro.
Yeah, they played the
So-
Wizards. It was like, whatever. But it just showed like Lance Stevenson caught that wild ankle breaker. That joint had me going.
That was that game?
Yeah, that game. The guy was going
Sheesh.
crazy. It was a
No,
nice
he
little
stepped on
game.
his foot.
That showed me how LeBron, how like easy the game is for LeBron. He was going. It wasn't like he was trying. He was still getting buckets.
He wasn't
dishing
trying.
the ball.
No,
it
he
was
definitely
crazy.
He was just playing like
I
rec
don't know.
league ball. It ended up working out. Let's talk about Chris Paul, member of the Banana Boat. So Stephen A. It's kind of like rumored that Chris Paul wants out of Houston, but an actual report came out today, like a couple hours ago, that Harden and Chris Paul have been like having a lot of feuds recently. And there was one from like an anonymous source in the locker room, probably some sort of player, who said that James Harden was telling Chris Paul like he's not the coach and to stop coaching everybody in a situation. I'm paraphrasing here,
Oh, what a
obviously.
snitch.
And then yeah, this is a snitch, but there's a lot of snitches in the locker room. Shout out D'Lo, your favorite player.
Ooh.
Yeah, but then
Where's anyone on the Knicks? Hold
Damn.
on. D-Lo's an all-star. That's all I gotta say. I haven't seen a Knicks all-star in I don't know how long.
Porzingis.
Damn.
All right,
Anyways.
moving back to what they said. Keep
yeah.
going.
No, but Harden was upset that Chris Paul was trying to coach everybody, and obviously Chris Paul, that's who he is, like super competitor. He was trying to coach Harden, and Harden said, "You can't even get by your man. Just watch me." So that's like kind of like taking over a leadership role, or at least like demanding it from Chris Paul. And to be honest, like, who do you guys think is in the right here? At least in this argument, you know what I mean? Like, do you guys think like James Harden should respect Chris Paul's kind of leader strategy, or do you think James Harden has every right to be the leader of that team?
I think James Harden should respect Chris Paul.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
James
saying?
Harden-
It's a veteran. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the league. I think you should respect him. It's kind of like that young buck that he thinks he's there's that. He doesn't have to listen to the old heads. You know what I'm saying? But really, the old heads is just trying to drop some good knowledge. I think it would lead
Chris
James
Paul
Harden in the
show
right
up,
direction.
man.
Yeah, but Chris Paul could be a little annoying. Like annoying. Like can this dude just leave me alone? Like I want to do me. So I don't know, but that was a little reckless. You can't beat your man. That was crazy. Oh, go ahead, Jarny.
I'd like to say, fuck what my co-host just said. If I'm James Harden, I say
Gotta
that
feel
James
right.
Harden is right for
James
what
Harden's
he's
right.
doing. Because honestly, it's like we're all watching from the inside in. So I agree with what James Harden was saying about how Chris Paul just needs to stand back. Like, because we're all seeing it from the outside. We're not seeing it how James Harden always goes through practice. James Harden literally spends every day working with this guy for the past 2 years. So maybe there's some things going on that James Harden's like, wow, maybe this guy isn't all that he's hyped up to be. Maybe this guy's trash. This is my team. I'm going to take over. I'm the one that's productive the most. I'm the one that's getting the bucket. I'm the one that's not hurt. So if I'm James Harden, like, I'm going to tell this guy, like, yo, you're not the leader of this team. This is my team. You're just some old head that's there. So get your buckets up, little man. I don't know.
I mean, Chris Paul's the reason they went to, or 2 years ago, they almost beat the
James
Warriors.
Harden was begging for help too. You know what
James,
I'm saying?
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
James
Begging for
Harden,
help, bro.
James Harden needs help, and I don't think Chris Paul is the
I
help
don't
that
think
James
Chris
Harden
Paul's
needs.
the help. I definitely agree with James Harden because we just saw how Chris Paul's performance was. And Chris Paul has been proven to be a bad teammate from pretty much everybody that played with him on the Clippers, everyone that played with him in New Orleans / the Pelicans / the Hornets, whenever, that scenario was. Like, it's well known that people don't respect Chris Paul or at least like him as a teammate because he always has these feuds and he always has issues and he's always being a little asshole. Like, that's literally how he is, bro.
Because he's trying to win.
He's just
People
always
insecure about him trying to win.
He's the one that's insecure because he's always being like he's being
I'm sticking up heavy. I respect it,
bro.
Every
time he was complaining, it's about winning, bro. Like,
he's complaining.
He was on the Clippers.
I like Chris Paul.
He was on the Clippers, bro. He was on the Clippers, like, bro.
He's like a troll.
I'm trying to win games. You got
just...
Blake Griffin. I like Blake Griffin a lot. He wasn't showing up in the playoffs. Chris Paul's mad about that. He's bitching. Obviously, he's mad because you got Chris Paul's little guy. He's showing up all the games, and his teammates is nowhere to be found. I'd be mad too. You know what I'm saying? It's Chris Paul leading the team. There's a reason. He's not bitching for no reason. He's giving. He's hard on. He's
Harden's got Harden's completely right because Harden is arguably the best scorer in the league. Harden's scoring at will every single time. Chris Paul wants to run a set play for who? Clint Capella. It makes no sense. Let Harden do his thing. Harden's obviously the best.
I know a lot of those plays with Harden aren't successful though. Like a lot of times, like especially come playoff time.
Well, we don't know
when doing all these
happened,
ISOs and shit like that.
Yeah, who knows?
We don't know when this conversation happened, but like if it happened in the playoffs, I'd tell Chris Paul to shut up too because Chris Paul was ass every single playoff game. He didn't have one good playoff game as far as
obviously
versus the Warriors, not the Jazz.
Well, no, 2 years ago he bugged down the playoffs.
2 years ago, but that's 2 years ago. So I definitely think Harden's right in this scenario. But I mean, Chris Paul's kind of stuck. You know what I mean? So like, what can Chris Paul really do that can help the team at all? Because he can't get traded. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to be there. He's just gonna have some sort of negative energy the whole time. It's gonna be a feud between him and Harden. His contract's too big. Nobody wants to take on that contract. The Rockets don't have anything to get rid of him per se, and it's crazy because we all respect Chris Paul. He's like well known as a NBA great, but he's kind of on a sinking ship right now, and he can't get out. He's just gotta stay on board. It's kind of like the Titanic right now.
Pushing back to Chris Paul being traded. So the Rockets currently owe Chris Paul $124 million over the next 3 seasons. So I personally don't see Chris Paul leaving this year because, I mean, Chris Paul is on a heavy contract. Whoever takes him on has to take on the contract. So I personally do not see him leaving. But I do see there being continuous problems with him and James Harden if he does not leave this year. So I do see that affecting the way the Rockets play when it comes to season time. But I don't know. Like if Chris Paul really wants out, I feel like Chris Paul will say it himself. Like we're not gonna go based on reports and all that. Like Chris Paul is what in his I don't know how
like 33, I think 34.
Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully he goes on the ring chase and joins LeBron and AD on the Lakers. I don't know. Maybe he wants to ring that badly. He's like,
what are they gonna trade? They're gonna just give away managers for him.
I don't know. But either way, the Rockets are in a terrible spot, and Chris Paul is also in a bad spot. Like that's $124 million over the next 3 years. That's a lot.
That's sad.
That's a lot.
All right. So now that the NBA Finals are officially over. The NBA, it really never ends. The drama's all off season. So we got some free agents here for you guys. We kind of took out some of the obvious ones like Clay. Like Clay's probably going to stay. And KD, just because, the injuries kind of affect their decisions. So it's not going to be as interesting or really as debatable as the other ones. But let's start off with some free agents. We're going to give our predictions on where they go and why. Let's start off with Jimmy Butler. Me personally, I got him re-signing with the Sixers on that max contract because right now, just even the core of just him, Ben Simmons, and Embiid, I think would work. Obviously, they're going to probably lose out on Tobias Harris because of this, who we'll also get into in a little bit. But I just think Jimmy Butler, he likes Philly. He never really has been open about leaving. I think seeing now that the Raptors ended up winning the championship, that loss stings a little bit less. And they probably all want to, reunite and end up getting some of that back. Why wouldn't they? They if they run it back, they lost to 2 points against the eventual NBA champions.
Lucky shot.
You got to have some sort of like they always say in street ball. Run it back.
Hard.
They probably want to run it back with that same core. Maybe obviously some guys are going to come and go, but I think it'd be foolish to see Jimmy leave and just take a contract elsewhere.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Butler stays with Philly. He likes Philly. Philly likes him. I don't see why he'd leave.
Yeah, Jimmy's not leaving.
Just stay in Philly. They're definitely going to lose on Tobias, I think, but they could probably pick somebody else up, another power forward or something to help them out. And they were pretty close at going, getting to the next round. They were one shot away. So I think their running back is completely fine. They just got to improve. Ben Simmons will improve, and Embiid is going to improve. They're both young. So I think Jimmy Butler should really stay. I don't think he should go to the Lakers. I got Jimmy Butler staying in Philly.
I feel like if Philly does not offer him a max contract, then he's just leaving.
I don't think Jimmy's worth max as well. That's another
He's
thing.
definitely not worth max.
Like, I like him
His
a
defense
lot,
is.
But the thing is,
I don't think he's worth max
that
contract.
I feel like at this point he just wants the max contract.
He just wants his bread.
Yeah,
So
he definitely
I feel
wants
like-
it.
I
but
feel
No
like
one's
he's
giving
gonna-
him the max.
Yeah, you
No.
can't get
I
what you
I
want.
don't see that.
Yeah.
The Nets will give him the max probably.
Let's do an interesting one. D'Angelo Russell, since now that Kyrie's rumored to be a net, and it seems like it's about guaranteed to go through, unless they re-sign him and D'Lo, it's looking like D'Lo's on his way out. So, what are your guys' picks on where he ends up?
He's going to the Pacers or the Mavs.
Okay.
D'Lo, come back to the Lakers, baby.
Bro,
I know.
it's a C. D'Angelo
I
Russell on
know
the
it didn't
goddamn
work out
Lakers,
at
bro.
first.
Fuck
I know
LA.
it didn't work out
Not a
at
chance.
first, but come back. We don't have Nick Young. Iggy Azalea is on the verge of, I don't know what she's doing.
She's messing with Cardi.
She should be doing
She's
porn,
messing
but
with
she's
Cardi.
doing everything besides porn.
trying
So
to be
fuck her. Jimmy
She's a
Jimmy Butler probably won't come to us. D'Lo, just come back. Just come home.
You guys didn't have faith in him.
Just
Look
come
where
home.
He made an All-Star. He's not going back
Bro,
to
he's
his
not
damn
going
team.
back.
Yeah.
D'Angelo
I
Russell.
I would like to see it.
The Mavericks or the Pacers is definitely both good looks. That'd be a nice
Yeah.
team. The Mavericks would be like a high-powered offense, no defense, but they'd be a nice team, like just to watch on, Wednesday night, Thursday night, crazy team. The Pacers would be good too. They were. I think they were locked for like four for third seed last. I think it was fourth seed last season before Victor Oladipo went down. So the Pacers would be another great team as well. It's a pair of Miles Turner and Victor Oladipo. But regardless, though, what D'Lo wants to do, the Nets, he's restricted. So if anything, the Nets could match his contract, and he has to stay with the Nets anyway.
Yeah.
It just depends on if the Nets are going to do that or not.
I feel like D'Lo is going to be either a Nick, which I don't really necessarily
This
want.
dude said he thinks
I just-
everyone's going to be
I
a
don't- I
Nick,
didn't say that. I
bro.
didn't say that. I just said I
Knicks
think
are
it's
doomed,
possible
bro.
just
Like,
because.
Doomed.
he said
They're not-
AD
I
and
just think-
Kemba, bro.
I
They're
think
not getting neither.
Oh my god!
They said
dude.
Zion, too,
They,
and
they have the
strikeout.
money to pay D'Angelo Russell, bro. So that makes perfect sense. I think it's either the Knicks or the Pacers. I think it'd be cool to see him on the Mavs, like Malik said, but I just don't think it's realistic. The Mavs kind of never hit on free agents too,
It's
which
a
is
fact.
Yeah.
DeAndre
just
Jordan.
interesting. So if I had to pick, it'd be those two teams. But let's get into our next guy. We got a real interesting one here, Hassan Whiteside. I know we haven't heard that name in a while.
Who gives a
You know
fuck
what? You don't
about
care-
Hassan
I care
Whiteside,
about Hassan
bro?
Whiteside.
He's bum, bro. He all right. So Hassan Whiteside would be good on the team that's like about to contend. Boom, he'll push them over the edge. Like they have all the other positions that they need. You know
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
say the
saying?
Grizzlies for Hassan Whiteside. I
Hassan
feel like
Whiteside
they're-
might fuck
Oh
around
my
and be a Nick.
I feel, nah, that's not,
And
Knicks
not
are
do
the type to
shit.
overpay him.
Yeah, right?
No,
Overpaying
they're
for
not,
no reason
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Nah, we're gonna skip that since y'all are gonna be so fucking hilarious this whole segment. Let's get into like an actual interesting one. Malcolm Brogdon. So he's a restricted free agent,
Damn.
but he's
That's
not
very
really due
interesting.
for like a max contract or anything like that. He's obviously a really important player. You guys think the Bucks can re-sign him, or do you guys think he goes elsewhere?
I see the Bucks like re-sign him.
Definitely.
He did come big in the series a few times, so I definitely see the Bucks like asking him to stay.
Yeah, he's a restricted.
I like
free agent,
Brogdon a
too,
lot.
I want him
Even
to
if
stay,
he doesn't
but-
stay, even if he tries to stay somewhere else, they're not letting him go nowhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They like him too.
That makes perfect sense. Julius Randle. Obviously, we talked about he doesn't want to be a Pelican anymore. Where do you think is a good situation for him?
Sheesh, I have no idea. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't really
stay in
make-
New Orleans. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
stay.
saying?
Like
Yeah.
you've been putting up points. Like why change?
He's actually
I
playing
think
very
he's
good. in New
actually like a
Orleans.
really good contender
Yeah.
for the Knicks. Like that seems like someone they would pay because he's young, he fits the team well.
Nah, I
he gets
believe that.
boards. He's
Yeah,
like a
that-
he's like
yeah.
a guy like that.
But it's just like, dang, like, does he want to go to a losing situation like that? Yeah, I don't
I mean,
know.
if
What
he
does
gets paid-
Randall want? To be honest,
If the Knicks
I
gave
don't
him
know
like
what he
3
wants.
years for a lot of money, I feel like they wouldn't really mind that much. Let's get into a very interesting one, Carmelo Anthony.
Jeez,
Yeah,
bro.
where do you think that
That's
Carmelo
another
ends up?
bum.
But he's not a
Damn,
bum, though.
chill,
That's so
bro.
disrespectful. That's
Another
like really
bum,
disrespectful.
bro.
How's he a bum?
He hasn't
Come
been
to
in
the
league,
Lakers,
bro.
Mello.
He probably will go
I
to the
think
Come
Lakers.
to the Lakers.
I think
You
Melo
want
being a
that
Laker-
ring?
Yeah.
We want to give you that
He'd
ring.
probably excel only on the Lakers because of LeBron. Like, if he's playing with LeBron, he'd probably
Everyone
always
thought he would excel on the
Come
Rockets,
to the
too.
Lakers,
Nah, it was-
sit
it
on the
was quick,
bench
bro.
for a little, and then you come on, baby.
He might do what Swaggy P
I think he's
did.
finally accepted to be able to sit on the bench now. Now that he
Yeah.
hasn't been in the
Yeah.
league, he finally got
Yeah.
over. He was like, all right, bro.
I think
I'll sit on the bench type of thing.
I've been watching Melo videos, over the summer. Melo always drops his workout videos, and that man looks very thin. Thinner. Melo used to always have a little belly, like that's who he is. He's just got a little belly. Post you up like that. But Melo looks really thin, looking like a sharpshooter too. So I think him going to Lakers and being able to fit in that system, that seems like kind of really likely in my opinion. Let's get into our very last guy, Nikola Vucevic.
Oh yeah, I like him. That's
So
a guy.
he's an interesting
yeah.
guy because he's kind of like underrated, but he averages double-double, 20.8
Always.
points, 12
Always.
rebounds. He's been very efficient on the Magic. He was technically their best player. Obviously the Magic didn't really have playoff success, but this guy definitely had success. But where do you guys think he ends up? Because I don't really think he goes to a contender, but I think he goes to like a middle pack team and definitely can make some noise. You know, he's a very solid big, and he can also shoot. You know,
Yeah,
so that helps a lot.
I think he wants some money, so I don't know if he can go. For that reason, I don't know if he can even go to a contender because like he's good, but I don't know if you want to really pay him a lot of money like on a contending team. Like I don't know.
Going to the Wizards.
That would be a great
He's
fit.
going to the Wizards.
That'd be
I
a
actually
great
do think
fit.
that's actually
Yeah,
a really
him
good
on the
point.
Wizards is a perfect fit. You know, they got a Bradley Bill stays. Bradley Bill, John Wall. That'd be good. The East is very soft.
Without
this
John
year.
Wall. Forget he said John Wall.
They need
Bradley Beal,
They
that's his
obviously
team.
need John
That's his
Wall,
team
but,
now,
yeah.
though.
Well, yeah, I like Nicole. He's good. Like he can. I feel like any team would want him. It's just a matter of if any team pay him. You know what I'm saying? I think don't we have is Tobias Harris free agent
Yeah,
too?
I was gonna say we skipped Tobias Harris, so let's get into Tobias Harris because his situation is also really interesting. Because I feel like maybe not every team wants him, but teams are definitely going to be considering taking him back. I even think the Clippers would be willing to take him back at a fair price because they got they traded for him, they got the assets they needed, they got Landry Shamet obviously, and they made other trades that were definitely important. So I think really any team would take him, as long as he's not asking for like a hefty, like he's not asking for the full max if he's taking a pay cut or something. I really could see him going literally anywhere.
I got him going to the Nets
anywhere.
or back to the Clippers.
I mean, not Philly. The Kings were very interested in Tobias. They said so. They actually want to sign him. They have the bread for it. The Kings, yeah,
the Kings would be very good with Tobias.
Yeah, they're very interested in signing him, and it's an upgrade over Belichick. Neiman Belichick or something. Bielitsa.
Yeah,
it's like Bielitsa. Yeah.
They
got
Belichick.
I was like, damn.
Like his name is very like weird. It's like BJ or something. LEC. But yeah, he's definitely a huge upgrade over him. And then you have Bradley off the bench. So I think if he doesn't stay in Philly, he probably does go to the Kings.
Yeah,
I feel like, and maybe the Kings get like an 8th or 7th seed because they were looking really good last season. I like the Kings a lot.
All right, so let's wrap up that NBA. We're going to be talking about, on the next podcast, the NBA draft, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth about kind of all the off-season stuff that's been going on. But let's talk about our best bets. So let's do a quick record recap. I had Warriors last week to win Game 6. Didn't happen. That's just how the tables turned. But Jarny's 4-3. I'm 9-6. Malik's 8-5, and Ty's 8-6. Me and Ty are the only ones with bets today. Malik and Jarny aren't really big baseball guys yet. They probably will be at some point, though. And there's nothing really else in the sports world yet unless they're going to start betting WNBA.
Or horses.
So, or horses. Yeah, if you guys want those
horses
horses picks, let us know. Shout out Bobby V's. But yeah, me and Ty, we got Yankees today. We got Tanaka on the bump.
Definitely Yankees.
This is a pretty important game for the Yankees at home. They got Edwin Encarnacion today as well, which is a very good pickup for them. The Rays are a half game back of first place, so I expect the Yankees to come and defend that title. Their bullpen is looking rested. The Rays have been kind of on the decline, losing to the Angels 2 of 3. So I expect the Yankees to get right here. This is a cheap price for the better team at the home. I don't know. I like this bet a lot. Tanaka's a beast, and this game starts in like 2 hours, so definitely excited to watch that and hopefully increase that record. Ty, you got any thoughts on that?
Man, let's go Yankees, bro. That's all I know. And yesterday was also a cool day in baseball too. We had a couple. Fortunately, we didn't have a podcast, and now we had a couple bets there. We had
Cardinals.
Cardinals definitely cashing in on the Cardinals, and then almost had the Cubs, but I don't know, man. That boy Ryu, he's a little crazy.
Yeah,
so
right.
we didn't get that one, but definitely let's go Yankees. If you want to make money, pick Yankees.
Perfect. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, next podcast we'll be going in depth about the NBA draft and some of more of these off-season rumors because, the NBA really never sleeps. It feels like, we miss one day of podcasting and it's like the whole world crashes in front of us. But thank you guys for listening. As always, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TU Sports Pod. You can listen to us anywhere, SoundCloud, Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I could name 16 more places, but I run out of breath. Thank you guys for listening, as always. And be sure to message us questions. We're going to do a Q&A segment next episode for sure. So DM us questions or tweet at us or anything. Instagram, doesn't matter. Leave us a comment. And we'll be sure to answer your question. It could be any sport related besides hockey or golf or something like that. We're not going to comment on that. So thank you guys for listening, as always. I'm Brock, and I'm out.
We're everywhere and anywhere. Shout out to Hennessy. I'm Jarny, and I'm out.
I'm weak, and I'm out.
Man, I'm tired. I'm out.
Henny.